Hey everyone, it's me, Frank Rosati here of Voices of Frank. So, if you haven't noticed yet, and I'm pretty sure if you're looking at this video, you have noticed it. Um, the last couple of, hours, literally, apparently someone just found this video last night, but it's been up on YouTube since November 23rd. If you haven't, if you don't even know what I'm talking about, um, sucks to be you, and if you do know what I'm talking about, really sucks to be you, because I'm talking about the Susan Boyle sex tape. No, I'm kidding. So, what it actually is a rant, and this is the second response to it. Okay. So, within the second response, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you what's going on. I created a video called South Sioux City High Rant. The purpose of the video was to just vent. That's all it was. It was me venting on some things that are happening at school, mostly within the drama portion of it. And this morning, when I checked it, it had 300 something views, and then apparently by second period, it had over 500, and right now it's at 618 views. However, I do believe that there will be more hits coming soon, and I do not believe that anyone has even decided to give me 5 seconds to hear my side of the story. Okay, so where to begin? I was pissed that day. And I've been having a really bad time. I was the new kid. I didn't know better, I guess. However, I did know that if people found it from South Sioux, they would trash talk it a shit ton. I was happy I kind of didn't have friends back then, and then I just gained them before it kind of went like viral-ish. At least around Sioux City or South Sioux, just in that area. Some people have been messaging me saying, "Oh yeah, if anything's ever wrong, just go ahead and message me, man." So whatever. And I'm kind of having this attitude towards it where it's it's stupid. I don't care. A few people, I've even went up to some people, and right after first period today, I was like, "Hey, look, I'm Facebook famous." Everyone's like, "I know, man. You're all over Facebook pages." And I'm like, holy shit, even they've seen it. Oh my god, before I can even tell anyone I'm Facebook famous, they know I'm Facebook famous. At least in South Sioux, anyway. So, in the video, I talk about some things in there, and not all of them were good. It was all about the education system, which I thought, whatever, kind of towards it. Mostly I was insulting the kids who couldn't read well, and some kids who were illiterate. Mostly these were the two of the classes that I were making up. By the way, I said in the video I was going to be taking summer school. Most likely I will not have to if I decide to finish my credit recovery program, and I'll be A-okay! So, well, let's get on with that. I was talking about some children in underclassmen classes. By that I mean freshman and sophomore. Ugh. So, when I was talking about the kids who read Forrest Gump, I meant they stopped in the middle of a sentence, acting like it was the end of the sentence, and then they would continue on with the sentence as if it was a new sentence, though. And I know for a fact a lot of people have had people like this. I know that, because it's in every single school that I've been to. And, that's one thing I got on. Another thing was how the drama teacher gave me a small role, even though I kind of threw my heart out into an audition, um, for something silly and goofy, and I didn't get a big part. At first, I was like, oh, it's Paris. Maybe it is a nice part. However, it was only 3 lines, and you could have cut that character out of the play, and one of the lines I had were actually taken from another character. So, to be more to the point, I was basically unneeded in that play. I really was. You could have manipulated it to some way to where, oh, we can cut this character out. You really could have, and it was annoying. And during the rehearsals, there was a bed that was backstage because Juliet would fall asleep and die or whatever. I would lay on that bed until rehearsal started, pretty much my stomach writhing in agony because I was starving because I don't eat lunch, mostly because I never have money to. And even when my dad does give me money, I don't eat lunch anyway because I don't like most of the school lunches. So, however, like every so often I will probably like buy a snack from the snack line or whatever, but I don't really care for that. And I would just lay there waiting for it to be over. Everyone's like having a good laugh and everything. I'm sitting there kind of being like the awkward one. I was the odd man out. And as hard as I tried to relate to some of them, I just felt kind of like pushed away. And I don't know. I just didn't feel wanted there, and I felt kind of bad about it. So I decided to go ahead and just say, you know what? If I get a small part, and because no one there really wants to talk to me, and I know they don't, then I'm just gonna go ahead and drop out of the next one, which I did. Honestly, if I got a bigger part, if people didn't talk to me still, I wouldn't care. I'd still have a bigger part, and I'd be acting. The whole point of me wanting to do drama is to act. I don't want to sing. And some people can take that the wrong way. Honestly, if I wanted to be in musical theater, I would join musical theater. I only wanted to be in that because it would have been my last show ever in high school. And it wasn't. The last show I did was Suicification, and I honestly didn't like the play. I even suggested that here's how it went down. The director said, "I'm gonna choose one of two things, and you need to help me choose." He basically just went up to all the students. My answer to him was, "I'd rather do Brothers Grimm, but apparently that is not the best choice because we have a bigger cast. So go ahead and go for Suicification." And he did. He went for Suicification. Because everyone liked it. I myself didn't like it as much as the Brothers Grimm. So, yeah, there's that. Another thing is people thought I wanted the main actor's part. That's one thing I was kind of getting annoyed with. It's just like, no, I didn't. I really didn't. I wanted a big enough part, but I didn't want to be Romeo. I was Romeo and Mercutio last year in Just Another High School Play. And I was like, alright, I was finally Romeo. Romeo was his old Shakespearean self, and Mercutio was from the suburbs. No, not the suburbs. The urban areas. I don't know what. I wanted to say suburbs. Suburb. Anyway, so, Mercutio was urban, like, yo, what up, dog, whatever shit, I don't know. And, Romeo was one of those, like, he was a Shakespearean character, which was good. And I enjoyed that play very much. So, there's always that. However, I didn't want Paris as soon as I saw it. Like, I was like, I guess I'll do it. Then I started hating the character. I don't know, just something about Paris. I really wanted to just, like, stab him in the neck. And, of course, I'd be killing myself. Ah. Huh. So, um, honestly, if I had to pick a character, I would have been. I probably would have chosen, Monk Larry. Because that part actually seemed fun. It seemed like to be the most energetic. It seemed to be like, well, one of the most energetic. I think the most energetic was possibly Mercutio. Um, Mercutio or fuck, I forgot his name. Oh well, it was like one of the Montagues. I didn't like. I wouldn't want to be anyone on the Capulet side. They were kind of annoying. Well, not really annoying. They were like boring, which is weird because the the Montague side was like called monotone, and their colors were very bland, and they were all like, it was supposed to be, that was the joke. They're monotone. They have no color but one color. They had one color, and they all have their own color. And the Capulets, also known as Capitulets, were various colors, and they were the boring side, in my opinion. They were boring, but they were also assholes. I always thought the Capulets were assholes in the original work. They wanted to fight more than the Montagues. I know that for a fact. They wanted to fight more than Montagues. So that's kind of how that went. More to talk about, I guess. I would pick Monk Larry because he's on neither side. He is. He's not on. He's neutral. And he was very physical. And I actually tried out with the Bronx accent, which he wanted. I don't think it was I don't think it was deep enough like he wanted it. I could have tried and done a little bit more deep, a little bit with a deeper pitch. I didn't really do it. If you really want to see my Bronx accent anywhere, you gotta go to what's it called? Newsor 99's little Rich Barlow Private Eye, which I guess I can post up as a bit of response down below. I guess I don't really have it with me. Oh well. So go right ahead. I really wanted to do that one, because that's how I am. Also, I want to just real quick get on this. Some people have realized that I had no one to vent to, but they're still saying that I had no right to go ahead and start judging other people. Well, here's the thing. I think I had every right to state my opinion. I really do. I have every right, and as a human being, you're going to judge people. Even you are judging me by saying I shouldn't judge people, when, in fact, the person called me a whiny bitch. So, we're both in the wrong. So, and I just did it out of complete and utter rage. I was pissed. And I did have a mental breakdown, which I don't think anyone actually believed. I'm going to go into depth on that. I'm not sure what the date was, but I was in single survival. Remember that I was having a hard time concentrating because I was thinking about other things. I was thinking about a girl who I just lost because of some utter bullshit that happened. She's now she went back to someone else, and so I was upset about it. I still kind of am. I miss her a lot, and it's still kind of just like gut wrenching to me. Um, I was being told I was probably gonna get kicked out of the play because I didn't have a certain amount of credits, and so I was upset about that, and that kind of helped pile on. Um, I, and the move was a big move from Florida to Nebraska. That's huge. I left all my friends, and I left my mom, and I left her. I left I left her with her boyfriend, who I've come to know since I was 11, and you know it was very hard for me, and I didn't know what to do. So and just this day, I was having such a hard time because I couldn't concentrate, and I tried to tell her that, and I'm like, could you? I was trying to get help from the teacher, and the teacher would refused to help me. She literally just said, "No, I'm busy doing something else." When she was kind of just yelling at some other kid for, I don't know, yelling at someone. I don't know. She was yelling at someone else, for something like irrelevant, and I really, really needed help because I was having a hard time. And she's like, "If you don't get that done, you're gonna stay here. You're gonna stay here during lunch." Bell rang for lunch, and I got up, and I just tossed the paper across the room. She told me to stop. I just yelled no at the top of my lungs, rushed to my locker, and dug for my phone whenever, my phone was actually in service. So I went ahead and I called my dad. I was shaking, and I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I need to get the hell out of here. So I called my dad, and I'm like, Dad, I need you to call the school. Sorry. I need you to call the school and let them know that I can leave, that I have permission to leave. Because I needed to get the hell out of there, and I was breaking down. I was crying. I told him everything. Especially since I thought I lost my phone, and I thought someone may have stolen it. That's another thing I probably should have mentioned. So, with all that happening, I had to try and improvise. I had to try and find, um, all this shit that I may have lost. And I had to deal with these facts. Just like the move, the girl, the play, just everything was coming down on me, and I started crying in the hallway, and teachers and students in class were peeking out, trying to find out what was going on. Finally, my teacher did come out, and he escorted me to the office, and I was shaking, I was crying, and I got in there, told him the whole situation. I do not know anyone's name here. Honestly, I don't know any of the APs yet, but I told the guy that yes, I was having a bad day and I really want to get out of there, because if I didn't get out of there, I don't know what would have happened. Just I knew it would have been bad. And um I gave him my dad's number, and I was escorted out of the building by the deputy, and I was taken home, and I got a call from my guidance counselor, Mrs. Hamus, who is an angel. Um, she told me that I could actually stay in the play, and there were going to be no problems with anything, and so I was kind of freaking out about it, and now I was just like, wow, I can't believe it. So this is whenever I wanted to stay in the play, because I love acting. Acting is my passion, and I don't know what to do without it. So, um, I got all that information down, and I was just, I don't know, I felt relieved being home finally. I laid down, I decided to hang with Gary over here. He was sleeping. Wake the fuck up. Wake up. Why are you wet on your arm? He's wet on his arm. I don't know why. No, Gary. Shut up, Gary. So, I came home and I was just like a nervous wreck. And I just wanted to just lay down and calm the fuck down and deal with shit my own way. And then, the shows came, and a week before competition, a note was given to the director saying I would be kicked out if I no, it wasn't that. It was, the note said that I was dropping out. That's right. I was dropping out because of my attendance there. The only time, which I've stated in the video, the only time I was not at the rehearsals were whenever I stayed home. I stayed home because I was having problems. I was having problems or I was sick. So I would stay home and he'd get angry, and the one time I actually did go to credit recovery, he got angry with me. Well, he didn't really get angry. He got like upset. He's like, so where were you yesterday? However, I think the one day he didn't ask me where I was the day I went home on that mental breakdown. Which was about it. That was the only one time. And no one even like bothered to ask me like, hey, where were you yesterday? Because you saw me walking past you in lunch. I know that for a fact because lunch was going on whenever I whoosh right into the office. And so I don't know, I was upset about it, and if you saw the first reply to the video, you'll see some more things. So that's kind of how it's been playing off. This is the third video I'm making about it, and I really need a Coke really bad. I'm so thirsty, and I love Coke. I love cocaine. No, I don't. But I don't know. I don't really like care now much for the negative comments. I just thought maybe I could broaden you up with another perspective. However, I would like to know the name of the person of the account CDCat1. If anyone has one, message me or whatever, because he threatened to kill me, and that ain't cool, brah. Even the same as said that ain't cool. It just ain't cool. Threatening is wrong on any level. That's one serious case of bullying. And the thing is, the guy probably can't even back it up. I have a theory that majority of the people who did comment on this are juniors. Seniors, however, didn't really care that much. They kind of like laughed about it. But I think it was majority juniors. And I did notice that some people were looking at me today with these ugly little faces like, you're a fucking terrible person. Like, I'm like, get the fuck off my back. So, that's pretty much it. Have an awesome day. Later.